Most of you have probably just watched the Gumball movie, and this is the follow-on about the watch. The story, how it happened, talking about it a week later, because realistically, I couldn't speak about it last week. I was a bit down in the dumps. So we're going to revisit it step by step, what happened, how it happened, why it happened, and the steps afterwards, and the steps we take next, hopefully.
For me, the story starts a couple of days prior to the actual night out. Probably more like Valencia, which was the last full night of Gumball and driving and everything. Because I knew that we didn't have to get up early the next day and do a 10-hour drive, we actually stayed up pretty much all night in Valencia. And I think even in the Gumball video, there's a clip of us in the hotel, actually in Valencia, saying it's 7 o'clock in the morning and we've just got back. Or it was about 6 o'clock in the morning and we were still out. It is 6 a.m. and we are in the middle of nowhere. I had about an hour's sleep that night, and then I didn't sleep during the day because I'd done the 2-hour drives to the port. Then didn't sleep on the boat, we were talking to people on the boat, everything like that. Get to Ibiza, and basically the second we got to the hotel in Ibiza, probably not even the hotel, probably the grid, it kind of just turned into party mode. We'd done 7 days of driving, we'd been traveling for 8 or 9 days at that point. I'd been quite reserved the entire trip because, I'm surrounded by people that I've never met. I want to make sure that when we are meeting these people, you never know who you're talking to, you want to make a good impression. But also, I needed to get up and drive and film and edit and everything like that. So I'd been pretty well behaved. And by this point, I'm on a mission now, bro. And I fulfilled that mission, I will tell you that. I did fulfill that mission. From the second we set foot in Ibiza, there was no more than maybe 10 minutes that there wasn't an alcoholic beverage in my hand. But the first night in Ibiza was the Gumball closing party at Universe, and I stayed up till 10 o'clock that morning on my balcony. Maybe got about 30 minutes sleep before Lou then woke up, which then woke me up. Yeah. This is the morning after. And then we sat around the pool all day at the pool party. And obviously the only way out of a hangover like that is through, because I wasn't really hungover, I was still pissed. So I carried on drinking.
It's kind of been a sort of a plan of ours for a long time to kind of make...
Then drunk all the way through into the night before we got to the Gumball Villa party, which was class. Once again, another good night, but it was 2 nights in a row that we probably had a very skewed perspective of Ibiza. After 3 days on the bounce of maybe having 2 hours sleep throughout the consecutive 86 hours overall, whatever it was, I was pretty exhausted. On the Sunday, we went out on a boat for the day, we done some work on the boat, we streamed, we did everything like that, walked back through Ibiza. In the period of all of that happening, we also heard about one of the fellow Gumballers getting his watch stolen. And there was a clip circulating on TikTok from a cab driver's dash cam, showing our pal getting into the cab, and as he's getting into the cab, a guy walks around the back of the cab, literally grabs him, lamps him, pulls the watch off his wrist, gets on the back of the moped and speeds off. But by the time it then came to the Sunday night, I was exhausted, and I helped Lou move his stuff into a different room because he wanted a separate room that night. I left him there, he got changed, he done whatever it was that he did, and I said, I'm going back, I'm going to go to bed. And I stayed awake, he dropped my laptop back. Basically, as soon as he'd done that, I think I just sort of went. And that was maybe only 11 p.m.
We were going to Pasha for the last event, and they had the whole VIP area booked. I was actually in a rush from the previous event, I was getting ready. And the night before, I hadn't worn my watch. Hadn't worn my watch out in Ibiza, in the nightclubs, purely for the reason of dangerous, gonna get stolen. In a rush, getting ready, I've left the watch on the side, I'm in an argument on the phone, I'm getting ready. As I put the phone down, I must have just picked the watch up on the way through, put the watch on, just out of pure automation, and gone to the club. It was all fine. Was having an amazing night, to be honest. Patcha was good. We had a load of the tables booked. We had security. My friends were there. There's no reason for me to leave that club at all. I'm drinking a lot, and then obviously during this time, someone or somebody has managed to get a drug of some sort. We think it could be GB. We think it could be, that's the main thing that we think it could be. They managed to get that in my drink. From there, it's just been a downhill over the next 2 hours. This is probably at maybe 3 a.m, 3:30 a.m, and then it's probably taken an hour or so. We're getting to 4:45. Some people leaving. I'm still there. It's obviously kicked in. Come up 5 a.m, and I've found myself completely out of it, disorientated. I've managed to somehow get away from the VIP area. I don't know whether I've been led away or how it's happened, but somehow somebody has managed to get me outside of the club while I'm completely gone, out of it. Watch is on. They've managed to get me on the back of a motorbike of some sort, reassuring that they're friends with me, and whatever's gone on, because at this point I've got no recollection at all. It's very, very vivid memories because I was clearly off my head on whatever they'd given me. So at this point, they've got me on the bike. I'm all friendly because I've got no idea what's going on. They've taken me to some random place in between Pasha and Destino 5, the hotel. It's in between. They've taken me to a random house, offered me all sorts of things in the house. I've got no idea. All I can remember is maybe using the toilet and being offered something out of tinfoil. I don't know what it was. But during this time, I still remember putting my watch in my pocket, my right pocket, because I had tight jeans on, and I just, for some reason, I thought that would keep it safe. And if anything, that might have actually saved me, because it being on my arm, there's more chance of somebody trying to grab it or them being a confrontation of some sort. They managed to get it out of my pocket somehow. I don't know how, but at this point I don't know what's going on. Anything could have happened. They could have done anything to me, anything at all. They put me back on this bike at maybe 6:30, 6:45 a.m. It could have even been 7:30 a.m. at this point, and what I think is only 5 minutes away on the back of this bike. I'm that disorientated. They've taken me down the street with no cameras, right near the hotel, so clearly knew there's no cameras. Dropped me behind a massive vehicle so that the cameras that are there can't see them. I think I've even given the guy €200 as well. Thanks for getting me back to the hotel. At this point, I thought I'd been dropped at the front. I've not. I've been dropped 500 meters away. I've walked to the front of the hotel, and that's where people have found me, just panicking, no idea what's going on. I've clearly lost my watch, and then from then on, it's just downhill. Police there. I run off, trying to go and look for the place because I'm just completely out of my mind. My phone's died, so I've ran off. No one can find me. People are out looking for me. I just think I'm going looking for the place. Like, that's a great idea. Police report ended up being half done. Somebody's managed to find me and bring me back. Panic over in that sense, but
I then woke up the next morning at 9:15ish because my phone buzzed so many times that it vibrated itself off of the bedside cabinet, and the phone hitting the floor was what actually brought me awake. And so I rang Hughes back and he's like, "You need to get to reception now." And I'm like, "Alright," and then just put the phone down. And this hotel's weird. They were kind of like separate villas with rooms in, and so I sprinted down from my thing to the lobby area. I just saw Lou stood there, almost kind of dazed. I don't really know how to explain how he looked, but he looked dazed. And straight away, my first thought was like, he's dead or injured or something. And so I got there and at least saw that he was okay, and it was like a sigh of relief. And so I go over and I'm like, "Are you alright?" And he goes, "No." Well, that's a fucking good start. "What's up?" I've been robbed, the police and the this and that and everything, and he was just talking pure waffle. And I'm like, brother, you need to chill, like, calm down. And we eventually sort of got him inside, and like Hughes is talking to him, who obviously has a bit more background to this than I do. Because I still at this point don't know what's been robbed, I just know that he's saying he's been robbed, and I'm like, hey, you've got to give me a little bit more than that. Then I realised it's his watch. I'm just kind of glad he's alive, so the watch I didn't even really care too much about at first, and I'm just trying to figure out what's happening. But also I know what he's like, and to put the watch down and forget where it is, you know, pretty like him. So I'm kind of sat there like, are you sure it's not in your pocket, babe? Like, are you sure you took it out? When I realised, like, we went back through some of the videos that some of the boys had and stuff, and he was wearing the watch in the videos. I'm like, alright, so he has actually lost it then. That's frustrating. But the words that were coming out of his mouth just did not make sense. 1 minute he's in a cab, and then he's on a moped, and then he's at the front of the hotel, and we're like, brother, you need to chill, you need to actually like listen to what you're saying, because it doesn't make sense. And it's frustrating to listen to in that scenario, because you're like, what are you going on about? Like, your story's changed like 8 times, what are you doing, bro? And I went, hold on, just sit still a second, take a swig of this water, look at me. I pulled his eyes back, and they were gone. They were in the shadow realm somewhere, bruv. And I'm like, mate, have you taken anything? No. Have you taken anything? No. Are you sure you've not taken anything? No one's given you a pill, no one's told you fucking put this up your nose, anything like that. No, I wouldn't touch it. No, I don't touch that stuff. And I'm like, fair enough, I believe you. Like, but you have taken something, or someone's given you something. Yeah, but I've not taken it. Then you've been spiked to me. Unfortunately, I've been spiked. I know what that looks like. And I know how horrible that feeling is to wake up not knowing where you are, what's going on, anything like that. And I'm like, you've been spiked to me. Then it was kind of like, over the next sort of hour, there's a lot of arguments and back and forth about what we're going to do, where the watch is, because in his dazed state, he was 100% certain that this house was like 2 minutes around the corner. And I'm like, mate, you've got to realise that you've blacked out, you've been spiked. There's at least a 2 or 3 hour window where you have no idea what happened, bar a couple of small memories. And he's like, no, I know where it is. It's like just around the corner. And I'm like, listen, you're speaking to the king of blacking out here. You need to chill. No. It's here. And I'm like, well, we've got a flight booked, mate. So what are you doing? Do you want me to stay and we'll go and look for it? No, I'm not really sure. All right, let's get on the plane then. Let's get on the plane and go on, because this is a stressful end to what was a top class trip. We got away, got on the flight, and I think the drugs sort of wore off a little bit, and he was very much like, yeah, I'm lucky to be alive.
Right now, we still don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with the watch. There's not really been anything back. It's one of those things. It's my own fault. It's a mixture of all sorts of things. It's unlucky. I'm upset about it because there was a sentimental value with the watch, and it's a very unique piece. There's only 8 in the world. It's derived of Bruno Mars, who was in gambling debt, and obviously I work in the industry, and it was cool. It made so much sense to me. It is what it is. Money's comes and goes. It's an item that can be replaced. I mean, I've gone ahead and ended up getting another one, and I'm good, my health's good. That was the main panic. Am I fine? Has anything happened to me? You know, a lot of people have been stabbed in Ibiza for watch theft, all this, that, the other. I've managed to come away unscathed, but without a watch. And in all fairness, I think I'll take that all day, every day. Afterwards, you know, initially you're really upset because you've lost this prized possession, but then you remember, hang on a minute, you know, I'm alive, I'm okay, and, you know, money comes and goes. It is what it is. If, you know, anybody does get any information, any lead, anything like that, please feel free to reach out. I massively appreciate it. There's even a reward around at the minute for the watch. So yeah, any information, would massively appreciate it. I say lesson learned, but at the end of the day, I accidentally put the watch on. You know, the previous night I was doing the right thing, so it is what it is. Don't forget, hit the follow button, hit the like button, share this around if you can. I'd massively appreciate it. Any help that we can get to find it would be amazing. If we don't find it, it is what it is. Life goes on.